Hello guys, my name is Bartek and today I'll talk about Next.js. So as we're in kind of Christmas spirit, I'll start really humbly and talk a little about myself. So yeah, I'm a photography and videography passionate. I love taking photos. I'm a front-end developer at NetGuru. I love teaching people. Doing workshops in WarsawJS was really a big part of it. And I've been programming for about 6 years now, and this is where I would like to stop for a second. So this guy is a major point why I started programming. Because this is my dog, Otis. And my mom wanted to make him some beds so he could sleep really cozily. So she wanted me to make her a website. So I did. Yeah, this is the bed. And this was the first website. It was made in 2013. And yeah, it looks like it looks, but it worked. It really was only HTML and CSS. Then she said that she wanted to do small rebranding. Yeah, that's really good. That's a good rebranding. Yeah, so she came up with a new name, so it was Petrum, a new logo, and yeah, I had to do a new website. So basically, it was pretty much the same content, but had more JavaScript. It was like fancy, it had some sliders, galleries, and things like this. But recently, she said she doesn't like this page anymore and would like another one. And also, she wanted to have like a kind of a shop in it, so you could see how much every bed is, and you could order from it. So I did something like this. So it's, yeah, gallery, who knows. My first bet when I was making it, I was doing it in React.js. Actually, it was React, I think. But at the end, when I was doing it, I thought about it's a business, so I wanted to perform good in Google and things and services like this. So I thought, let's do some server-side rendering. And I heard about Next.js, so thought, why not? Let's give it a go. So yeah, it's done on Next.js now. So as I said, it was done in React, and then I rewrote into Next.js. But I'm talking about technologies and things like this, and exactly what is server-side rendering. So I probably should start from this one. So basically, how the most spas work is that you make a request to the server, you get a HTML with like a one tag of with ID app, and then you download JavaScript and make it work. So JavaScript renders all the page. So yeah, it's something like this. It's create React app. Yeah, this one is a create React app, but it's small. It's small. So basically, Jesus Christ, it's so small. It's too small. Okay. So as you can see here, enabled throttling, so it's the internet is not really fast. So if I reload the page, it's nothing, and then it bang, and it's everything. This one here, I should probably bring it up and make it bigger, but so when this one comes, JavaScript is loaded and it runs. So it's nothing, and boom, here's JavaScript. And that's the same app, but made with Next.js, and that has server side rendering. So if I reload again, the app is the page appears, but the JavaScript is loaded later than you can see everything. So basically, it is called a, what is it called? First meaningful. I meant first meaningful. No, I meant first meaningful paint. So it's basically the thing that it's a moment in time where you actually can see something. So in the next app, it is when everything appears, but there is still no JS. So in this example, we have first meaningful paint much more earlier, and it's really good for a page speed and user experience that you can see the content of the page earlier. But what also server-side rendering allows us is the thing that I started talking about at the beginning. So it's performing in Google, and in Google and Bing, and who is Bing? Yeah, it's basically that every page is indexed in Google. So basically how it works, it is a program that comes to your page and reads all the contents of it and like categorizes your page in the whole database of Google. So now it works like this, that there is a first crawl, initial crawl, and goes to the it indexes it. But here it only indexes the first HTML it gets. It doesn't wait for any JavaScript to load or to execute and to render. So if you have a page that has a lot of content, but it is only generated with JavaScript, Google will not see it. So the second wave of rendering is done after 2 weeks. So you can see that all the content you put in this app will be updated every 2 weeks, and you cannot always predict how it will exactly look in Google's rendering service, because they are not using something like Chrome or things like this, so you don't have any way to know how it will look for the Google. So if there are any missing links, well, it is your problem. Yeah, if you would like to know a little bit more, I really highly recommend this talk from guys at Google that talked about it and shown more how to do performant web pages for Google. It was done on Google I/O 2018. And yes, so from the talking part, I think it would be most of it. I think all of you would like to come to the code. So yeah, maybe let's start. These are servers. So how would you start a new app? In React, you would usually use something like create React app, and there's nothing yet there, but I can. Do I have internet? Okay, great. But this one. Okay, I think I have internet, so I can go on. So yeah, in React we have create React app. In Next we have create Next app. and it does pretty much the same. So it is like a all-in-one bundle of Webpack, of Bubble, or other installed. Oh, I should. How would we call it? WarsawJS. WarsawJS. So yeah, it will install React and Next and React DOM, as you may see down there. So yeah, that's that. npm install, right? Yeah. So how are you guys doing? Did everyone buy presents for everybody? That's great. Yeah. Love the internet. Should have done it. Installing modules. Okay. I think I have a... Okay. It worked, I think. Yeah, it is. Here it is. So, we have a folder here. So if we would do npm run dev, it would compile the server, compile the front end, and we'll be able to see it down here, I think. Going great. Really great. Local host return. Okay, great. Thanks, Google. Yeah, I think it will work now. Yeah, so we have like a page that is here, so you can see that it works. So if we take a look at the project, we can see it here. Why is it so small? Next, WarsawJS. Okay, so you can see some folders here. So basically, this is how the app looks like for Next. So we have a component, so it's a folder for all your components. Next.config, it's config for Next. Yeah, Node modules package JSON, and here is the most important folder in whole Next. So it is pages. So traditionally in React apps, you would use a router to create all the routes, but here all you have to do is put the file.js in this folder, and it will be rendered as this name. So we have index, so it's just slash. And yeah, if we open this one, it's the same thing. So if we open the index.js, we can see it's actually quite a normal file with React components. And yeah, we have some styles here. So Next supports CSS in JS natively. So it works, but yeah, and if we export this component, it will be rendered by Next. So yeah, basically it's React, but we have few other things that are not so React. So first of all, I'd like to start with the links. So we have links from Next. So they are just a wrapper for a real A tag. So what you have to do is create a link and then a tag. And if we redirect to a page called, I don't know, page, and create a page called page. Export default with hello world. Nope, not this browser. Where is it? Okay, here it is. So if I click here, I should see, yay, hello world. Yeah, and this page is server side rendered. So if we take a look at the source, we can see some crap. But here you can see a hello world that was rendered on the server, and can you see it? Oh, here. Yeah. So it's in a source code. It's not rendered by JS, but it works like this: that the page is rendered, and then all the JavaScript, when all the JavaScript comes in, it is mounted, and it basically is a normal React app. So it's only at the beginning this tag, but it will be replaced by the normal React one. Yeah, and so this is how the links work. But another cool thing about Next in this context is that it is code splitting. So like doing code splitting, so not all the code that you write will be in one bundle, but every page you create will create a different JavaScript file. So if you go to the home page, it will only load the home page file. And if you click on a link with the page, it will then load the page, then append this JS to the main JS, and will render your file. So it basically works like a normal app, but with dynamic components. Thing that is quite getting that's quite new to React. Well, it is being worked on really in core React. Yeah. So and what if you would like to have all JS at once? You can simply add to the link a prefetch, and it will prefetch it. So if you go to the page, it will download this /page, and it will work like a charm instantaneously. Okay, so then so if we create apps, we usually would like to do some things with APIs. So we have to fetch the data. So usually you would create a class that extends React component. It has a render method that returns the component. So here it is. And yeah, it should work. Yeah, it works. So you'd usually, give me a second, I'll do it the proper way. It wasn't that one. That's the proper way. That and here, yeah, okay. So you usually use something like component did mount, and here you would fetch the data using, I don't know, something like fetch method, fetch function. However, in Next we have another lifecycle called Jesus Christ, how is it called? Get initial props static. Sorry. My mind went black. It's not working. Jesus Christ, sorry. Get initial props. And what did I write? Okay, it should work. But it's not resolved to an object. Oh, okay. So, so basically this method will return all the props that will be passed to this component. So if we return an object, nothing really will happen. But if we return something like foo and bar and get this foo from props, should have it here, right? Yay. So this one is used because it is also used in server-side rendering. So if it's on a server, it will also be called. And at the end, can you see that? I thought so. Theme, maybe in lighter it would be easier to see. Can you see it now? Great. So yeah. So it will be called also on the server side. So if you would like to make a API call, let's say with fetch, we cannot do it actually in the server because Node.js doesn't have fetch function itself. So the best thing would be to download the package. We're in JS world, right? So let's download another package, and I hope it will work. No, it was WarsawJS, right? Yarn add Jesus, sorry, forgot another time. No, I'm looking for. It was called fetch. Yeah, isomorphic unfetch. It was actually called isomorphic unfetch. I forgot the first part. I think that one will be, yeah, it will be much faster. So if we import a fetch from isomorphic unfetch and do a request to HTTP localhost and it was products, I think I called it products. We can do it async, wait, response.json. What else? Should be static async? Yeah. And what's going on again? I don't know. What could happen? Does anyone know? It should work on both, so it would it should be called on. Yeah, actually that's a great point because it will be called on both front end and back end, but it will be called on the first on the back end, and it will be rendered, and then it will be called on front end if we go to this component. So if we were to go the other page and it would be in it, it would be called in the browser. So yeah, so then it should be like this, that if we do the async, wait, okay, no problem. So I'll end it this one, and we can go to the questions if there are any. Products. Thought I have much more time. Foo is not defined. Right, it isn't. Right. Map. And we'll get a name, I suppose. Div. And the name. And do it like this. Why do you want? Yeah. Did the same thing. Yay. Okay, I think you maybe we'll do it like this. JSON stringify products, and you will have to believe me that it should work. Yeah. Okay, so it was some things that I did wrong about the requests, but yeah. As you can see, it was fetched, and it should work, but I don't know why it doesn't work now. Yeah, so I think I don't have much more time, so thank you very much, and if there are any questions.
Questions time.
Can we create a page for authorized only users?
For authorized only users, yeah, of course. It depends on how you do the authorization. If you would like to do it on only on the server, we can like extract the whole Next and use it in the Express app. So we could use Express server and only render the pages with Next.
Okay, next question.
What's the biggest disadvantage of using Next.js?
Disadvantage? Maybe the fact that it forces you to use those pages, so this pages folder, so that you don't have so much, you're not so free while using it, that you have to use this one.
Other questions?
Do you maybe know, does Next.js support TypeScript?
I'm pretty sure, yes, it does. But I'm not sure. I haven't used it with TypeScript yet.
Is it possible to prefetch root like manually from the code? Like, for example, I would like to prefetch a subpage on hover on a link.
Yes, you can do it. With there's a higher order component with router, and you have a router, and then you can call router.prefetch, and then you can prefetch what you would like to.
Okay, that's enough questions. Maybe last question from me. Do you really think that server-side rendering improves the SEO?
Yeah. I know that many people know, and it is known knowledge that companies like Google render their pages with their crawlers, but as I said, it is faster because it's like at least 2 weeks earlier, and yeah, it's done on the first go, so it's yeah.
Thank you very much, Bartek. Congratulations.